That is a mouse. That is a monster of a mouse. That is the ideal Magic Mouse. This is a compatible mouse for the Commodore 64, so it is using the 9-pin joystick port. But this is not like any mouse I've ever seen. It is both ugly, horrifically designed, and seemingly compatible with nothing. I'll explain that in a little bit. Well, ergonomics is definitely not the one thing this has going for it, considering just how big it is. Also, your fingers, this reminds me a whole heck of a lot of that one IBM PS2 mice, where you basically have to like crawl around the front of the mouse to reach the buttons to actually use them. Not really all that great, but it is a 3-button mouse. That's actually kind of cool. What isn't cool, however, is the location of the wire on it. Why are you going to have your data connection here? Not in the front. Well, maybe the buttons are getting in the way, but in that case, why not in the back? This is such a weird way to do it, but okay, fine, we're going to do it like that. It is, however, a ball mouse. So if I flip this thing over, you can see that I can just pop this out. Come on, or I can try and pop it out. There we go. And it has an absolutely massive ball that's inside of it. Like, this thing is like the king of ball mice. This is a huge one. Anything bigger and you'd call that a trackball. The rest underneath here indicates that this is made in Taiwan. So it's interesting. So the registered trademark on this is Ideal. It's called the MagicMouse. This came with a piece of software which also lists it, also printed in the manual, not stamped, as Contriver Enterprise Company Limited, 1025 Clark Drive, Vancouver, British Columbia. They have a phone number here, they have a telex number, and they have a fax number. All of those numbers don't work anymore, and Contriver, that I can tell with Google Street View, has not been in that strip mall for many, many, many years. So this was very much a fly-by-night operation to produce a mouse that was really not all that great, like, at all. And it gets even more horrific once we open the damn thing up. Now, look how big it is. Part of this is just not for the lack of ergonomics that it has. This is also for the mechanism inside. Now, we know of the Holly mouse. We know of the earlier fine filament mice systems. We know of optical mouse systems. We know for a fact this is not an optical mouse system. And we also know that with more common ball mice, it's actually a dual access shutter wheel, which is just simply strobing a clock, and it's determining which way the mouse is going from that. This uses none of that. Remember, it's plugging into the joystick port. So it may very well be using the XY axis of the Pong paddles, which I think runs through the SID chip, doesn't it? Anyways, I've taken the screws out of this thing already just to simplify it, because there's one that hides underneath the sticker right here. And so I will pull this open. First off, there's 2 thumb wheels adjustments here. I guess it's for centering. You ready for this? What the hell is that? Well, what we're looking at here, can I unplug this from the top assembly? I can, and I've marked it. Hey, that's convenient. So I'll unplug that and get it out of the way here. So what you're looking at is an absolute abomination and horror story of a mouse, or how you should build a mouse. We have these brass rods here on bearings, which have been melt welded in here. We have another one here just to kind of keep it bumped up. X-axis, Y-axis, or one of the two there. And then a belt. A belt links the rod to this enormous potentiometer up here. So you have a fairly limited amount of travel because it's a potentiometer. You cannot scroll infinitely on this. Can I get this back on here? There we go. So I'm going to zero this out. So that's zeroing on one side. So end-to-end potentiometer movement. That's 1. And for this one, That's 2. So there you go. So you don't really have that much travel on either one before you run out of physical space to actually rotate the potentiometer anymore. So I'm assuming the mouse sensitivity is also quite high, or the resolution of this mouse is quite low. We'll figure that out, however, when we use the software. The manual here is great because it does just discuss quickly like what to do with this and how to make adjustments with those little trim screws there, how to clean and service the ball, but it talks about a couple of other bits of software that are included with this mouse so that you can actually use it, which is odd. Don't we have programs like GEOS? I think even Print Shop supports a mouse. Anyways, we can think about that all we want, but why not actually try it? So I'm going to pull out one of my Commodore 64s and we're going to plug it in and we're going to test it. Oh, by the way, those buttons on there, yeah, this is what they look like. I guess they're okay, sure. Clicky, clicky. Yeah, they're buttons. They're very astute when it comes to just how strong they are. Tactile, I'm not sure what the word is for it. They're strong. They're definitely loud. That's also a thing. But what was I talking about? Oh, right, the Commodore 64. Just give me a moment, please. All right, and after that little intermission there, I've managed to pull out my Commodore 64, or in this case here, my SX64, which has no handle. Doesn't really make it all that portable, but if I need to pull out a C64 in a pinch, it's almost all right there except for a cassette port. We're also going to be using today the Epix Fast Load cartridge because we're going to have to be loading off the floppy. Now, I have gone and made a copy of the software disk that comes with this mouse, but I don't have a way to take this copy of the disk and make an online copy that I can put onto the archive or something like that. So if you are going to ask for this, I'm sorry, as of this video, I don't know how to dump floppies for a Commodore 64. So let's turn on the C64 here. I'm currently plugged into joystick port 1. I believe I am. Oh, and we're also going to have some video here to display as well, so you can see what I'm doing as well. Disk goes in. Boot the drive. Remember to plug in the keyboard. All right, disk goes in this time, keyboard, and off we go. So it's going to boot its own little software here. One moment, please. There we go. And it seems the first thing it wants here is the printer selection. So we have Epson or Gemini in either normal or inverse mode. The CBM 1525 or MPS 801, or it's emulating, or an Epson with the user port interface. Cool. Well, I have none of those plugged in. Option 5 is like blank and blank, so I'm assuming that means nothing. So I'll hit that. MagicMouse, I saw something just like shoot across the screen there. Hardware by Contriver. Man, even Contriver had their branding put onto the software. The mouse doesn't work, so I bet you this is a nasty thing that happens with Commodore 64s and joystick ports, is that it could be port 1 or it could be port 2. We don't exactly know. Or it could be the mouse is just completely broken. There we go. There, and whoa! So I have the video feed that you're seeing right here synchronized with what I'm doing. Look at the input lag on that mouse. Oh my God. Okay, yeah. Okay, well, it operates as a mouse, and it does have the sensitivity that you can see end to end, and it's got a little, like, finger pointing thing for, like, a cursor. Sure. Okay, that's pretty cool, and it works, and it's smooth. It's just really laggy. It might also be that this rough wooden surface is also causing it chaos, but nah, it seems to be smoothing itself out. Okay, so main menu, we have 4 programs: the high-res graphic designer, the icon designer, the sprite designer, and the mouse controller. Well, let's start with the high-res graphic designer. No. Okay, it wants the yellow key. There we go, and it's a drawing program. Okay, so neat. So what button does what here? I could read the manual for this. It's right there, but I'm trying to play stupid, and I actually don't remember many of these commands. So I'll hit the Sure, let's do a frame. Oh, no, that switches between paint and text windows is the red button. Okay, blue. No. Yellow. Yes, yellow is the frame. Or selection. There we go. Yeah, so that's selection. All right, so I'll do frame. Let's pick a color. Let's do, I don't know, brown. And it also does the border brown too. Or is it just that? I don't know. Okay, so we'll do this. There is this absolutely microscopic dot that's moving around the screen right now, which I'm assuming is my cursor. So if yellow was selected on the other menu, there, and it left a dot, and now I have another one. So I'm assuming that if I go, say, here, it'll draw it, to set your points, and that's exactly what it did. So, okay, not so much a rectangle as a square. There. So we have a square and a rectangle. So I'll go back to my menu here. I wonder what the fill is like. Sometimes we can see just how well coded this is by filling in stuff. I saw fill here a moment ago. There it is. So I'll hit the fill. We will do green. I don't know what DW or BK does. I'm just going to go white background, draw, switch there. Let's do you green. Oh, no. Man, that is slow. Okay, sure. So it is a drawing pro. Hey, it was able to detect that too. Okay. Pick a color, any color. We'll fill that with that. I like how it fills up and then it fills down first. And we'll do purple for this last piece, because this seems to be a big one. So is it going to do the left side first or the right side? It'll go down and then, I guess, all right, yeah, sure. I don't know what it's doing here as a fill method. It's glacially slow, but it seems to have a smart way of doing it. So, okay, so it's your typical paint program. Sure. Do one last thing here. Just try this little spray paint tool. That doesn't do anything. Oh, it kind of does. Okay, cool. All right. One last thing here. Oh, load. Is there anything on here? No. Can I load? Text window, load. Sure. Oh, file name. Let's just do a wildcard. See what that does. Okay, it loaded something, so let's go back to the art window. Can I go back to the art window? I've lost my mouse cursor, haven't I? There we go. There we go. Wow! If that's just a sample that came with it, that's not bad. Wow. Yeah, I can totally see the Pacific Coast here vibes. Yep. Yeah, this looks great. Okay, so it's a fairly decent mouse program, or decent paint program that comes with the mouse. All right, can I exit out of here? Hello? I seem to have lost something here. Hello? Okay, I'm gonna have to restart the system apparently to like go back into the program. Sure. Okay, so I just had to reboot it here and I went right back to exactly where we were. So we have it all loaded here. I just hit the red button again and it's supposed to pop me back to here. So let's just hit the exit and then I guess select and it kicks me out, or at least it goes back to this and then it kicks me out. Yeah, not sure what happened there, but yeah, mark against it. So we're back into here. So we have the icon designer, sprite designer. So let's do the sprite designer next. MagicMouse Sprite Designer. Use MagicMouse to position hand, red button to plot, blue to erase. Place hand to right of sprite grid to activate icon option. Pressing red button selects required mode. Okay. Oh, and that's interesting. It's now it's gone very chunky and grid-like. Okay, press red to continue. And that's because we're on a grid. Neat. Okay, so is this just a sprite drawing program. What happens if I go like this? Oh. Like I'm going down and it wants to go sideways here. Maybe that's just the adjustment controls. There's no fill options here. This is just quite simply a pixel painter. That's all this is. I have drawn... I'm not entirely sure what I've drawn. Whatever. I've drawn a soulless tornado. I don't know. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, this is when my mouse cursor goes over that, I get this keypad, which BC81VD plus minus MLRS. What is background? Oh, I can change the color of the background. Okay. What does C do? Clear? No, it lets me cycle the color of the pixels as well. Okay. 8. What does 8 do? Nothing. Nothing. And 1. Also does nothing. V. Apparently that just clears it. All right. Let me just draw this again, or draw something here so I can see what I'm doing. Can I change it to a color I can see? There. Oh, okay. What? Oh, interesting. So I actually have like memory pages that I can store these sprites in. And that's plus. Interesting. So it's some sort of sprite drawing program. I can change the colors. I mean, it's very simple, but it's kind of like, other than the fact that apparently you have to like click, 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 and it doesn't want to do this. I could just do this with the keyboard. I don't really see the purpose of the mouse here. Oh, unless it's changing through. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I see. I can alter these sprites. Okay, that's kind of cool. So I guess it's just got a table of sprites that you can work from. Is there anything else here? Nope, that's all there is. Can we go back to, say, the cursor? There, we'll go with that. What does M do? Mirrors it. E. Erased it. Whoops. Oh, and that's that. Load. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Red button to continue. Sure. Okay, that made sense. So, where was I? Load, save, X, Y, R, Q. Let's go with that. It just kind of shifts it around. Interesting. Y does the same. R just inverts the whole thing. And Q, I'm betting, is just quit. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Press any T key to continue, hits the exit button. Wow. All right, well, I guess we'll see what so that was the sprite program. That was, okay, that was weird. The mouse was corrupt there for a second, but then again, we messed with that. Icon Designer. Icon Designer for, I'm assuming this is a GEOS compatible mouse. MagicMouse Icon Designer. Use MagicMouse position to hand, place hand. Hold on a second. This seems familiar. Hand presents button. Press red button to continue. This is the same program, isn't it? Okay, no, it's... all right, can I load from this? Whoops. Let's see what happens if I do this. The wildcard worked well before. It loaded something, and then it looks like it froze. It's not locked up, but I'm not sure what it did there. Okay, I think this might be a time to legitimately just power cycle the whole machine. So here we are back at the menu again, so I had to reboot the machine. Okay, so high-res graphic designer, Sprite Designer, icon designer, same thing as the Sprite Designer. That just leaves us with mouse controller, which I'm assuming is a setup. Oh yeah, there we go. Break-in 2717. Did it really just crash? Huh. Okay. Okay, so we're currently, I guess, 2 for 2. 2 programs that work and 2 that are crashing. We'll see. We'll try loading it again. If it doesn't work, hey, it says no printer now. Interesting. Yes, so we'll continue with no printer. There we go. Okay, do the mouse controller again, and it breaks at 2717 again. Okay, so we're 2 for 2. 2 programs work, 2 of them crash and don't seem to work. All right, that's fine. This is the bundled software that goes on here. Let's try GEOS. GEOS, I actually have a physical copy here, GEOS version 2.0, Berkeley Softworks 1988. So this here, in theory, will work. So there's a fair number of supported mice within GEOS, but then again, there's a fair number of mice that are just clones of Commodore's mouse. I'm going to take this disk out of here, turn that off for a second. I don't know how to power cycle this, do I? All right, turn it back on. I know the fast load is supported by GEOS, so we'll put that in there. We'll load it, and away it goes. There's the desktop loading up. There we go. Where's my programs in the system folder? There we go. 9KUs, 20, yeah. Okay, so there we go. I see the mouse cursor up in the corner there. The mouse doesn't work. It could just be that I'm on the wrong joystick port again. So let's switch over. And try. Still got, oh! What was that? I see. So apparently yellow moves to the right, blue moves down, red moves to the left. And I can go diagonal if I hold them, but other than that, I don't have XY control. I'm really not used to GEOS. Like, it could very well be that I've made a mistake here and I haven't configured it for this mouse, but off the bat at least, it doesn't support this mouse at all. Okay, so that's kind of unfortunate. So I guess it's not compatible with GEOS, which is really the only thing I have right now that I can use a test with. So yeah, I guess in that case there we go. This is the ideal MagicMouse. Probably one of the bigger and most absurd looking mice I've ever seen. It's for the Commodore 64. I don't know how much it's worth. I don't know how much it cost originally new. It obviously doesn't work with GEOS out of the box. It comes with its own bundle of software, a really nice painting utility, and a sprite program and an icon program, which kind of work, and some sort of configuration utility, which don't seem to work. I know there's been at least one person on the VC Fed forums that's been asking about what this does and how it works. There you go. I hope you're watching this video. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video as well, so we could play around with the MagicMouse. Mike, I hope you enjoyed this video as well. This video is for you. And for everybody else, until next time, have a good one.